I'm very bad at doing things like this, but then this video is not for everyone. And the reason why I'm posting on my YouTube is because not a lot of people watch my YouTube. So I'm not expecting this to go anywhere. Though I'm posting it publicly, I'm not expecting it to go anywhere. And yeah, that's just it. Now, like I said, this video is not for everyone. I'm about to rant about the things that happened during my wedding, in preparation for my wedding these past few months. So if that's not something you want to hear about, you don't need to be here. Anyway, let's get into the video. Do I need to do some form of introduction? Hi. Anyway, it's a very serious matter, but I think I've gotten over it. That's why I'm speaking about it publicly. So this is first thing first. I'm going to tell you guys about my seamstress and how she completely messed up or tried to mess up my wedding day, but we serve a living God. I'm going to give you a little backstory. So I've been sewing with this person going on 5 years. So we've been like working together for a while. And sometimes she'll make me clothes that I pay for. And I'll make videos and I'll collaborate with her. I'll tag her. You know, I was paying for these clothes, but it didn't hurt to like put someone else out. It wasn't trouble for me because I would film the content anyway. There was nothing wrong with me tagging who made the dress, right? During the time that I worked with her, I've recommended a good number of people to her, and some have come back to me with not so good reviews. And also, let me just say this, I'm not going to be mentioning names, and this is my experience, what I experienced, and I'm just talking about it. So I'm not going to be mentioning names because I don't want to put anybody's name out there. So let's get into it. When I started sewing with this person, she was really good. The reason why I use was is what she's been doing for me lately. I don't know if you can lose a skill, but I think maybe she started losing her skills. I'm not sure, but she was really good, and that's why I stayed with her for that long. So let's say 4 years, right? I don't want to be saying maybe 5 so let's just cap it at 4 years. So I've been with this person for 4 years, and she was really good when I started sewing with her. That is why I kept sewing with her. She used to live in Osu, and I would go there and sew my dresses, and at the time she takes my measurements and makes my dresses. The day I go there to do the fitting is the day I take my dress, because immediately we finish doing the fitting, there isn't much to fix. It's just little things, and then I take my dress. So we never really had an issue. And anytime I would go, if she told me to come on Tuesday and that the dress would be ready on Tuesday, when I went, it was ready. This person moved from Osu to East Legon Hills. Mind you, I live in Adenta, so I used to go to Osu for the dress. Then the person moved to East Legon Hills, and I'd go there for my dresses. Same arrangement. In the past year, things started looking weird. Sometimes I'll send her a dress, a style, and she'll sew the dress and it doesn't really fit at all. Like, it doesn't fit well. I'll be attaching videos to this, so don't worry. The dresses don't fit at all. We'll talk about styles only for me to receive something different. And on that part, I'm partly to blame, because why would you talk about a style with someone and not send them a visual reference? So what would happen is that we'll talk about it. She says she understands it. I actually will show her a style on Pinterest, but I don't send her the image because we are in the same space. So I just show it to her. Only for the dress to come in is a different thing. This happened to me on 3 different occasions, but I let it go because confusion can happen. 1, 2, I don't have a case because I didn't document sending her a reference image. So I just count my losses. I'm not a very difficult person, and I think everyone will say that, but I think I'm not a difficult person. And sometimes even when I go and the dresses don't work or make sense and I'm trying to fix it and it's not working, I just let it be, because I feel like it's a skill gap and there's really nothing the person can do, no matter how hard or how many times you complain. There's really nothing the person can do. So now that you have the backstory, a little bit of the backstory, I'm going to move to the next part of the story. So she moved from East Legon Hills again to Anya, and I live in Adenta. So going to Anya will take me about an hour to get there, on a good day, that is, and an hour to come back. That means that if I'm going there for a fitting, driving for 2 hours in a day, and most of the time when I get there, I am there for about an hour. So 3 hours of my day is spent or is used for this, which is a lot of hours. But again, in my opinion, or the person that I am, if I start working with you and I can depend on you, I even sometimes when you make mistakes, I just let it go, if you get what I'm saying. Like, again, like I said, I am also to blame for what happened, because after seeing all these red flags, I continued to work with the person because I knew she was talented. I was soon about to find out that so this person moved to Anya. Fast forward, it was time for my wedding, but before that, I was still sewing with her. When she moved to Anya, I was sewing multiple dresses with her, and the things were getting bad as we progressed. Like, the outfits were getting bad as we progressed. Communication was bad. A lot of things were going bad, if I'm being honest. I'll go there, she'll take my measurements, she'll make me a dress and it'll come out differently. We'll discuss a style and she'll add other things to it that are not necessary, and I'd have to take them off. And sometimes, even when I take back dresses to be like fitted for how I am now, it would take months to get it back. In this case, I took a few clothes from her that are like have been with her for more than 6 months. We'll discuss that later. But it was getting bad. So tell me why I still gave this person my wedding gown to me. One is because I've been sewing with her for a while, so I thought that for a gown, she'll add some like importance to it. Do you get what I mean? And two, I didn't really have anyone else to be trying at that moment. And for me, I thought it was a better gamble working with someone I already knew and had known for years, as compared to giving my wedding dress to someone completely new that I haven't tried before. So those were the things. So I was like, okay, it's a safer bet to work with someone I've been working with all this while. So she's one of the few people outside of my family who actually knew I was getting married, obviously, because she has to make the dress. And we started we kicked everything off proper in October last year. So tell me why, after going for more than or almost 10, going to her place 10 times, right? And in these visits, I stayed there for more than 2 hours when I visited. We started with the draft of the dress and we made so many corrections on that prototype. But anytime I would go, it's the same mistake and it hasn't been fixed. And she keeps saying, oh, when I make the dress, I'll fix it. When I make the dress, I'll fix it. And it wasn't getting fixed. So I'm like, nah. But at that point, I felt like it was too late because I had paid her everything. And now the wedding dress is sewn. The color for the fabric was totally wrong. And I'm like, anytime I see this thing, I'm like, we're in too deep. So let me just be happy about it. As long as the dress is done and I have something to wear on that day, I'm good. Now, mind you, it got to a point in my relationship with this person where anytime I commission her to make a dress for me, I need to get a backup because she would fail me. The chances of her telling me that your dress is ready, come for it tomorrow, and I'll go tomorrow and it's not ready, is very high. So it got to a point, anytime I gave her a dress to make, I had to get an alternative so that if it doesn't work out, I have something else to wear. So when this thing started happening with the wedding gown, I started thinking the same way because I'm like, would this be my story that my gown was not ready on the day of my marriage? While I had that inkling, I still did not listen. Fast forward, after so many trips to her place, that's like almost spending 5 hours a day on her, especially for the dress, because going in and out of that place is 2 hours, right? And I can go there and be there for 2 to 3 hours because sometimes when I'm not there, I don't think anything happens to my dresses. Like, immediately I leave, she throws them somewhere. That's what I think. Because anytime she tells me to come for the dresses and I go, it's not ready. The wedding day comes or the wedding day is fast approaching, and I call her the day before and I'm like, where is my gown? You haven't updated me on this gown. You haven't said anything. You told me you give me feedback today and I've not heard from you. This was around 6 p.m. in the evening. She told me she would call me in the afternoon. She didn't. For me to call her that night, and she kept saying, oh, she's working on it. How are you still working on my dress? From the previous year to February, what? When did I get married? I got married on February 7th or 6th. I don't remember. the date. I'll find out. And the day before the wedding, you're still working on my gown. So I'm like, you know what? Wherever you've gotten to with the gown, I'd rather see that I have a gown to wear tomorrow than rely on you, because at this point it's very critical, and you've done this to me several times in days where I totally relied on you and you failed me. So I told her to send me the gown. My mom was like, oh, I should calm down, she will send it. So my mom spoke to her and I told her, send me the gown. So she sent me the gown that evening. Guys, can you imagine that? The gown came without a veil. And I called her and I'm like, where is the veil? She said, I'll bring the veil tomorrow in your hotel, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you send a wedding gown without a veil? And to me, all this tells me is both items were not ready until that day. Now tell me why you bill me a huge amount of money, or an amount of money. In fact, you billed me what you thought was right. The price was right for the work you were doing, only for you to do rush work. Doesn't make sense. In my opinion, I think that the time you take to make the wedding dress, as well as your skill and the material you use, constitutes to the price. So if you're sewing my dress in a matter of hours, it's questionable, isn't it? The wedding day comes and I'm sitting in my makeup chair. She said she'll come to my hotel at 4 a.m. because I saw that the dress, when she brought the dress the previous day, I saw that the dress wasn't complete. So she said she'll come to my hotel at 4 a.m. and bring the veil. She didn't come at 4 a.m. So I called my mom and I told her, the person you vouched for is disappointing me. So she came to the hotel and then she came with the veil and then the dress. She came to continue working on the dress in front. Can you imagine the pressure a bride is under, or what they are experiencing on that day? And then right in front of them, they see their dress is incomplete and you are still working on their dress. If I tell you that at that point I wasn't even mad anymore, right? Because I didn't want anything to like come between the day I was having. It was a good day, and to be very honest, I'm grateful to God for being able to compartmentalize my feelings, because it could have easily affected my day, if I'm being honest. Anyway, the veil comes. It's time for me to wear the veil, and the veil was not properly done. So the veil has a comb. So the comb is curved like this. You see the way my hand is. It's curved like this. So this part is deeper, right? So it's supposed to go into your hair like this, right? As part of the veil, she sewed it like this. That means that if I wanted it to sit this way, the front of the veil will now go to the back. So I had to manage and then fix the veil on my head for it to make sense. I thought this person was a friend, so I actually invited her for the wedding. But after all that happened and she finished sewing the dress, she left and she went home. She did not speak to me. During the time that she was working on the dress in front of me, I asked her, where is my Sunday outfit for the next day? Because the wedding is on a Saturday, the outfit's on a Sunday. So I'm expecting that while you were coming, you bring the dress for the next day. She said she didn't bring it. What does that tell you? It's not completed. Sunday morning, I wake up in my husband's house. And then my mom has called me and she's like, oh, they dropped off your Sunday dress at the house, so come and pick it up. At least call me and tell me that you're dropping off the dress. She didn't call me. She didn't say anything. She dropped it off at my mom's place. So I had to leave my husband's place, pack up backup outfit, because I knew that it was going to disappoint. And it did disappoint. The dress was nothing to smile about. So after the whole thing, my husband and I went to South Africa for our honeymoon. And if I tell you that during the time that we went to South Africa, and when we went to South Africa and came back, I had to call her to remind her that the rest of my Sunday dresses are with her and that she should send it to me. We came back in February, right? We came back from our honeymoon in February. I went to her place and I told her, I'm coming for my dresses, and here's my gown. I want to convert the gown into something different because this thing is not, Mind you, the inspo was off, so I was looking pregnant. Like, I looked like I was pregnant while I was walking down the aisle. And it was embarrassing because when you're going to get married, they ask you, are you pregnant? They ask you those questions. I tried to cover it with my bouquet, but some people actually thought I was pregnant. You're not supposed to be pregnant and walk into the altar. We all know that. Anyway, I come back, we speak, and then I ask her, how long do you need to complete these dresses? She said, oh, they'll be done by 28th March. 28th March is fast approaching. I'm not hearing anything from you, so I call you the day before to find out if I'm still gonna come. You didn't answer my call. You later called me and you said, oh yeah, I can come the next day. You are done with the outfit, blah blah blah. Done. Oh, I'm about to set off. So I keep texting you, only for you to text me back and tell me that, oh, I can't come today, there's something. I don't know, something came up, and I said, okay, let's make it the next week. The next week turned into another week, so that's 2 weeks over the agreed date. I still hadn't gotten my dresses. I went, can you imagine that I drove all the way there again and they were still not complete? She told me one of the dresses was, all of them were ready, but one of them was sent somewhere, blah blah blah, a whole lot of stories, and I received those stories on a daily. You see, my problem is not that, it's not whether they are true or they are lies. My problem is that knowing this, communicate, tell me that this is what is happening, so that I didn't have to waste my time to come there. I don't know whether it's a lie or it's true, but you should have just told me. This goes on and on. 3 weeks in, I've still not gotten these dresses. And these dresses, I was supposed to have them right after my wedding. In fact, they were supposed to come with my wedding dresses. So the fact that I've not gotten them 3 weeks, in fact, it was more than a month after my wedding. So I'm counting 3 weeks from the agreed date, which was 28th March. At that time, we had already done the wedding, gone for a honeymoon, and come back. One evening, I got so mad that I just drove. So this is me at 9:32 p.m. on my way to go and pick up my dresses. These things are long overdue. To that place in the evening. It was around 9 p.m. and I got there and I said, you know what, give me all the dresses you have. The audacity to pack all these dresses for me. And funny thing is, when I went there, she was still working on my dress. She packed all these things for me and left some out, and she said, oh, she took it to the laundry and it mixed up with someone else's things, blah blah blah. Mind you, this person kept saying that the dresses were what? Completed. So I come home and I look in the things, and there are so many dresses missing. So many dresses were not in that bag. So I'm like, where are the rest of my items? I literally had to call her one night and blast her before she sent the rest of the items. And can you believe that she sent me? In fact, let me be honest here. What I told her was, wherever she has gotten to with the dresses, she should just send it to me. Mind you, this is me having in mind that you told me that you done all the dresses. So I'm assuming that everything was complete, only for her to send me dresses that were cut and still had pins in it and no zips. I will show you guys the dresses. And now I have these things, dresses that do not fit, because she's telling me, I don't know what she was saying, but she was like, it's the same measurement she took on my body that she used for the dress, and so she doesn't know why. Maybe I should check my measurement. First off, I didn't measure myself and send it to you. I came to you and you measured me. So if you're telling me I should check my measurements, that's gaslighting. Borderline body shaming, but we are not going to talk about that today. But yeah, that was what happened with the dresses. And as I speak to you, I have dresses that I cannot wear. Some of them are not even done. I just really wanted to talk about this thing. After all this and me getting angry and finally recovering all the outfits, all the dresses, during this time, right, the saddest part was there was no remorse, apology. It was only when I got very angry and called her on the phone and like blasted her that she apologized. And she called me the next day to apologize, and she was like, she was going through something, blah blah blah. And while I feel for her, it was not an excuse. The best thing to have done was tell me. Now let me just say something. I see the dresses she makes for me, or the dresses she used to make for me, they were really good. The ones she makes for me now are total. And I see the dresses she makes for other people, and they are good. So in my opinion, is it me that you have like a vendetta against? Did I do something to you that I'm not aware of, that you tried to punish me in such a horrible way? Because I see the dresses she makes for other people, and I thought we were cool. Like, I actually thought we were friends. I actually thought she had my best interest at heart. If you were going through something, as someone who has been a vendor, who has been contracted to do something, you should have told me. You should have let me know from the get-go that, Ivy, I will not be able to do your dress because I do not have the mental capacity to do it. You should have said something. You wait for me to get angry with you. That was when, after you've destroyed my gown, the dresses, you haven't done them properly. That was when you tell me, I tell you, and why did you do this? And your answer was, I was going through something. It's really painful, because for someone that I regarded as almost as a sister, if I'm being honest with you, like, we were okay. I don't know if, well, maybe it was just me. I thought we were cool, but in my opinion, I think we were cool. So to do this to me was something else. And so in my mind, I'm like, if you don't want to sew for me anymore, you can just tell me, hey, Ivy, I don't want to sew for you anymore. Da 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 da. It would be fine. So all this, she had me pay for the delivery of the items. Even after going there and her telling me it's not ready, I should go back home. She could not say, oh, you know what? Let me pay for the delivery, because you actually came to get the dresses. It was my fault that you didn't get it. So I paid for the delivery myself. That's on the wedding dress part and the Sunday outfits part. As I speak to you now, none of the Sunday outfits, I cannot wear any of them. And like I said, I will show you videos of it. Now, this is the face of someone who has just like had enough, you know. I just wanted the day to end at that point. I was just tired of it all, and I didn't want any part of it any longer. One other thing that happened with the Sunday outfits was the designs that were agreed on somewhere else. I don't know what happened, but I don't know what I was seeing. The other thing that got me so angry is she sold one outfit for me with a fabric that she has used for me before. So I have the same fabric but with different outfits. Who does that? Anyway, those ones are not really, they're just minor stuff that I wanted to mention. That aside, I want to commend the fact that she did sew my kente on time. But again, the communication was the problem. Tell me why. I tell you, give me updates. When are you sending my kente? You don't tell me you're sending my kente. Only for me to fall asleep. I wake up around 2 a.m. and I have 10 missed calls from a Yango delivery guy that has my kente dress. And the next day is my engagement. And my dress is flying between delivery guys. So when I didn't pick the call, I was asleep because I was so tired. I told her, I am so tired. If this dress doesn't come during the day, and it gets to the evening and I fall asleep, chances are, even if my phone rings, I will not hear because I am so tired. And that's exactly what happened. So she had the Yango driver give it to her delivery driver and then had it delivered it to me the next day. My dress was just floating in people's hands, which was not cool. During this time, nothing put me on edge more than where, like, the constant question I kept asking myself was, is my dress ready? Am I really going to walk down the aisle? We might have to cancel the church wedding and just go back and do it in the pastor's office and just sign and get out, because I have a feeling my dress will not be ready on time. Lo and behold, I wore an incomplete dress to the wedding. But if I don't tell you, you wouldn't know, because I had to maneuver. I had to find my way around it, because literally my life depended on it. The next chapter of my life depended on that. One last thing. Again, I said I am equally to blame for this, because there was a time where a fabric vendor reached out to me from nowhere and said, oh, she gave this seamstress fabrics to sew for me to do an ad for her, like create content for her.
Hi, so I'm sorry to interrupt your day, but just wanted to find out. So I spoke to her some time ago about a collaborative post where I wanted to give her some fabrics so that she makes a dress for. In fact, she mentioned that it was you she was going to make the dresses for, and you're going to do a post and maybe collaborate with me or something like that. But honestly, I'm reaching out because it's been a long time coming. I sent it in before August and I haven't heard anything at all. I don't know if it's something that is still gonna happen or not, because I want to get something out of all this, and I don't know if I should have approached you directly or not, but I know that she makes dresses for you. But I asked for follow-ups and she kept saying, she says, I think that she said the first content you guys created was not good enough.
So let me set the record straight. Yes, she did tell me that a fabric vendor reached out to her and told her she had some fabrics for her to sew for one of her clients or some of her clients, and I was included in that client list. But let me be clear, all the items I have sewn with her did not come as a collaboration between me and a fabric vendor. To my knowledge, I've paid for the fabrics and the workmanship. And honestly, when the fabric vendor brought up this issue, it was a little fishy to me, but I didn't want to, I don't know what conversation they had had, but I just want to be clear. We did not shoot any content that was bad. And I did not receive anything, if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to put that out there. Now let's continue listening to the voice note.
some things, but I just want to find out if it's something that's ever gonna happen.
This same person that I thought was a sister, was a friend, had told someone that they had made the dresses for me, but I have not made the content. So this lady reaches out to me and she tells me this, and I'm like, please, so I've not received it. And so if that's what she's telling you, and I told her she should go and speak to her. I don't know how they settled it, and I don't know if the fabric lady still thinks that I have her dresses or her fabrics and I'm refusing to make a video, or she has secretly used it to sew dresses for me that I have paid for and was hoping I'll make a video so that she will kill two birds with one stone. Like, do you get what I mean? As in, I'm paying for the dress, that means I'm paying for the fabric and everything, but she's using the lady's fabric to make the dress for me, so that when I post a video and the lady sees the fabric, she'll think that, oh, she actually did so for me. I've not received anything. Everything I have gotten and worn, I have paid for. There are a few things that she gave me for free. Some I did not wear because they did not fit, so I've not worn them. And even those ones, I asked her to alternate it and it took months. So yeah. So yeah, that is my horror wedding story. Did I have any other horrifying experiences apart from this? Yes, but this one stood out. As for the videography side, my husband was the one handling that side. I only came in because it was some way, And my husband also had in fact, he had the same experience with his suit and his traditional wear. I saw, during that time or after the wedding, I was seeing a lot of brides coming up and calling out all these designers, the big names. And in my mind, I'm like, I think it's time to go back to the lady in the kiosk in my hood or in our hood. And I think this is similar to what we see in restaurants these days. The restaurants look so good, but the food is bad. Anything that could go wrong or everything that could go wrong went wrong. And in my opinion, I think sometimes you think you are patient until you encounter such days. Like, everyone needs to encounter such a day. Like a day where everything that could go wrong goes wrong. And it shows you within yourself that you have not been tested to your limit yet. And I don't think I've even been tested to my limit with what happened. But that day, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And some people really pulled through for me, and they will always be at the top of my list. I would recommend them anytime. It's the same way someone I have had a bad experience with went all out for someone else, so they would recommend them. This is just my experience with the person. I'm not saying the person is a bad person, but based on how they treated me is what I'm talking about. So yeah, that is story of my life. Thankfully, that's all over. I don't have to get married twice. So the dress I was talking about that came with pins and needles and was not completed? This is it, and that's the inspo for the dress.